Hello friends, good morning. Welcome back to 9 Little Aussies. It is a balmy Texas morning here. I think it's going to get up into the mid 80s today. We've had a few days of cool weather, so I guess that's late 20s, I believe. I think that's right. But I have something to show you this morning. So this little garden is coming along. They're a little bit bigger, I think, than last time, but that's not what I want to show you. On the weekend, the other day, my boys finished building this bean bed for me that we've been working on. So this one here is all ready to have the beans put in, which I'm going to do today. I do have a little bit to finish on this end, but they've put up this cattle panel on these steel pickets. Just rigged it up with some tie wire. So I'm pretty excited to be able to finally get these beans in. It has been a long process, but anyway, I'm going to plant what I have now. This is something I've had to really, I'm just taking a guess here because I have a few different bean varieties. I want a pole bean here, obviously, and then I have a bush bean that I'm going to just kind of spot plant those around where I have space and see what kind of a harvest we get from those. So this, which one was the Kentucky Wonder I'm going to put here, and the other one's called Kitchen King, and it's a bush bean. So we'll get those in the ground and water them in. Now the other thing that's happening here, my husband got this idea, which I thought was such a good idea. I think he said he saw it on, or heard it on a podcast with Melissa K. Norris did it in her garden beds, that along the side of the garden bed, you lay down this cardboard and then put wood chips on top. So we've done it already on this side. So the garden bed, ends here, but we've got an extra space here of just cardboard with wood chips. And that prevents weeds encroaching on the garden, but that will sit there and I guess decompose and start to break down over the next 6 months or whatever. And then next season, she uses that wood chip and rakes it up onto the garden bed as an amendment. And it's already decomposed and broken down into beautiful, rich compost. So I thought, well, that's brilliant. So we're going to do that on both sides of this garden. And hopefully later today, getting the final load of soil. Ooh, my direction here. Whoops, this way on that raised bed. Alrighty, so I'm going to put these beans along the trellis, or just under it. I'll plant them under it. But I have a few other leftover seeds that I'm going to just chuck in and around down the front. I've got some leftover rocket, some basil, hollyhocks. I haven't put them in yet, but I thought put some flowers, some marigolds, and some leeks. And some of those, like I know with the leeks, are kind of a little bit late in planting those, but the packet's open, so I don't think it'll save very well. So I'm going to go ahead and sow the rest of them and see what we get out of that. Don't know if you can see those dark clouds. It's really sticky and I feel like we might get a storm. So I got all of those seeds sown in here. I'll water that soon, but I am going to put some of these bush beans in, and I need to do some more worm juice. Our little worm farm is great, but I just wish it was bigger. I mentioned a few videos ago that we were getting a bathtub, and I was so excited about it, and unfortunately it fell through. My husband had found it on Facebook, and the guy was giving it away on his property. We had to drive an hour to get it, but we were happy to do that. And he didn't get back with the address, and he didn't get, so my husband had said, yes, we'll take it, please, we'll come get it on the weekend. And he said, okay, but then he never got back with an address, and then we found out he'd given it to someone else. So that was a bummer. So still don't have a bathtub. So we still just have our little worm farm, which I'm finding these beds, and I knew they would need a lot of support being the first year they're here, and you know, I'm using the no dig method, and I'm not wanting to put any, well, not just not wanting, I don't really have the ability to spend a lot of money on amendments. The worm juice is so good. Like every time I put it on, the next day I can just see the plants are like, thank you, that was so good, I feel good now. But it's just a matter of having enough to keep up to the number of garden beds we have. So anyway, we shall do what we can with what we have and keep looking to get a bigger worm farm. Okay, so with these this is a bush bean, which means, you know, it's a determinate variety. It won't just keep on growing. It's kind of a little shrub. So I'm just going to spot plant them where there's little gaps in amongst the other things that I think it's a big enough gap to grow a little bush bean, and we'll see how that goes. Oh, there he goes.
Right now.
Oh, look at his little red puffy throat. He's puffing his throat out, red. That is the cutest thing. It's kind of hard to focus on. He's little.
It must be a baby.
Puff out. Well, they might not get very big, doll. I'm not sure.
It might be a baby.
Did you see him before? Puff his throat out.
Yeah, I see.
A red colour. Oh, there he goes. What's he doing? He's so cute.
I see him.
He's so cute. Wow, he's bright green.
If you pet him, he goes green.
Most Australian lizards are brownish. He is bright green. All right, these beds are overrun with weeds. I've been coming out here every day and weeding, but there's so many hay seeds that have come out, and they're also looking a bit anemic. So I'm going to give them some worm juice. Now, I know that these crawdads, these crawfish, are here a lot because of the high water table, but this one's in my raised bed. Look. I got that in the hot spot. That's crazy. We're giving the whole garden a water, but I'm also watering in this bean bed. Yay! Finally got it in. I feel a great sense of relief having that in. I feel like I've been trying to do it for weeks, but we finally got it done. So I've got those pole beans in, and a bunch of flowers, and some basil, some chives. We'll see what, hopefully we'll get a good germination rate and it'll all pop up. As I stand here watering my new little bean bed in, I and the potatoes. It's funny, we're getting good spring rain, apparently good for the area. Like this is it's a good season, a normal good season, I guess, which is wonderful, because last year was a really hard season and we were here for the heat of that summer drought, but for the most part we weren't on this land for that, but in the country, in the state. I was thinking about how, oh man, I wish I had this bean bed in weeks ago, and I wish I had more space to plant more beans, and I wish this, I wish that. You know, we always want more than we have, don't we? I know I'm always like, oh, I should have done this or I should have done that. And I was just thinking, you know, that old saying, comparison is the thief of joy. And it is so true. We are all in different seasons, and I look around, and where I get into trouble, just going to be real honest, where I get into trouble is when I look around and I think I see these other beautiful gardens or homesteaders with massive big gardens, and they're like weeks ahead of me and they're planting, and I have to remind myself, well, this isn't their first year of growing a garden in that location. They've been doing that for, you know, building that up for years, and maybe have more of a budget than we do, or whatever the situation is. I've got to stop doing that, and give myself the grace and to just be in this season of our first year here, building garden beds from bare ground. My potatoes are all laid flat right here, and I'm wondering if some animal jumped down off those pallets onto the potatoes. I don't know if that'll set them back. They were the strongest and best down this end, so I hope not. Yeah, look at that. They've all been laid flat. Actually, thinking about it, I guess that could have been the storm the other night, although it's only in that one spot, so no, that's probably not right. It was a doozy of a storm. It was all at night and we were sleeping for most of it, but there was a lot of rain, a lot of wind, a lot of lightning and thunder, and then no power. It is hot out here. It's really warming up. So Gracie and we like to water our toes when it's really hot. Ooh, that's nice. Oh baby, I got the bottom of your jeans. That feels so good. Feels so good. Yeah, I definitely reckon there's a storm coming. Which that'll be good for all these seeds. Just been standing here with the kids praying blessings over all our seeds, praying for a 100% germination rate and strong sturdy plants. Let's hope and pray for the good.
I need to warm my feet up.
Feels good, doesn't it, baby?
Mm-hmm.
All right, it's warming up out here. I have to go inside and get a drink. I've got one more job to do before I finish out here and go into the cool. I've started drinking my favorite summer drink again, which might sound a little weird, but it's just cool, pure water with a dash of apple cider vinegar. I find it so refreshing on a hot day. And I don't mind the sour tang. Like, I don't put a ton in, maybe a tablespoon. I don't know. I just kind of go douche in my cup of my water. Do you have a favorite summer drink? I kind of go completely off it in the winter. I don't like it in the winter, but in the summer it is so refreshing, and it's starting to warm up. The kids are getting a slip and slide going today, so that tells you how hot it is. So I'm kind of excited about this. These are Mississippi pink eye beans, which a friend, Melissa, who is one of my husband's work colleagues, gave us these, and I've been waiting patiently to be able to put them in the ground. And it says I looked it up because I am not familiar with it, but apparently it grows really well in this area, and it's a semi-vining variety. So it does need to climb. I don't know how vigorous it'll be, and I am running out of space here for climbing things. I really am. But I think what I'll do is I've got a couple of patches here on this little bit of fence line, like from the end of that bed there. And I do have some things planted in here. I've got a couple of peas and I've got some nasturtiums, but there's a couple of gaps. So I think I'll put these in the gaps, and then I'll look and see if there's any other gaps I can like stick one, because it sounds really great. When I looked it up, I thought, oh, that sounds really cool. So I guess it's kind of like a black-eyed pea, only it's pink. They're kind of pretty looking in the pictures. So we'll see. So they've kind of got, I don't know if you'll be able to see, they've kind of got a purplish tint. Kind of cute little babies. And I'm assuming they will be like most beans, about an inch depth that you plant them. So I'll see where I can pop them. Well, I think that's about it for today. That's all I'm going to get done this morning anyway. I'm going to go inside and get some lunch. It's actually 1 o'clock and, or I don't know, 1/4 or 20 past probably now. I had no idea it had gotten so late. Okay, friends, we'll see you next time. Hope you have a fabulous day. And remember, whatever season you're in, relax, enjoy it, work hard, but don't stress. That's what I'm telling myself today. All right, have a blessed day. We'll see you next time. What? That was a good one. Go, Gracie. Whoa, you nearly did barefoot skiing, girl. Watch out for little man. Woohoo! Good job.